All right, gents. Time to go to the Nun. Waited all week for this.
It's a little bit crowded back here, but that's okay.
Did Joe bathe?
No.
Welcome to the show, Malevolent Matinee, where every screen is filled with dog shit horror films today. Malevolent Matinee. Go grab some friends, hop in the van, and watch a new release get flayed.
A lot of mass shifting back here.
There is a lot of mass.
Now, you brought enough money for everybody, right, Joe? Isn't this your treat?
Huh?
Isn't this your treat, Joe?
I don't know if I even have money today.
What do you expect? How do you expect to buy your ticket?
Well, I mean, there's a lady of the car.
Joe, are you going to try and barter your way into a service using magic cards again?
I did just spend $170 on cards.
What?
Okay, yeah.
$170.
Is that for real or is that a bit?
No, that's real.
Joe, you don't have a fucking pot to piss in, and you're spending $170 on some stupid card game?
Yes.
All right, we are on the way to see The Nun, the latest movie in the Conjuring universe, I guess it was. Conjuring 1 and 2, Annabelle and Annabelle Creation. So this is the latest edition. I have not seen Annabelle or Annabelle Creation, but I do like the Conjuring movies, so.
Is this the series with the guy with the red face?
No, that's Insidious.
No, that's Insidious.
Oh. I wanted to see
the guy
him.
this is the one with the nun.
Yeah, The Nun.
You don't remember the nun?
Well, yeah.
The title character of the
Joe
movie.
is
I
not
saw the
seen
trailer. I saw the trailer.
Joe's not seen any of these. He's seen Insidious, but he hasn't seen anything.
No,
from
I haven't seen Insidious either.
And The Conjuring. But I'm pretty sure I heard Joe say that the Conjuring movies are shitty jump scares. I guarantee I've heard him say that, even though he's not seen The Conjuring.
Right.
Well, I mean, they got banned from YouTube for jump scaring people.
Nun. What did you see?
I saw a nun. Hello.
You know why they call it the Nun?
What is that?
It's none of your business.
None.
Let's not get in the habit of making those kind of jokes.
None happened.
Super big hurry. Or you describe the film in one word.
Unholy terror. 2 words.
Anyway, yeah, really nothing scary happened in this movie, unless you've never seen a horror movie before. It's just a lot of religious iconography, nuns with scary faces, jump scares, people disappearing, reappearing, a lot of praying in another language. I didn't think a whole lot of the movie.
I thought it was awful. Yeah, look at this nun. This is what I think of a nun.
You respect her.
I watched a lot of it. People were throwing popcorn at me during the film, and also there was a slush problem. But I didn't care for it at all.
The slush problem was Joe got a slush, and then when he went back to get another slush, he claims there was no one at the counter.
Yeah, so it was like a ghost town.
So he came back to watch the movie. Joe missed a good chunk of the movie between getting slushes, getting sodas, and then fishing out popcorn out from down in his cleavage. He spent a good majority of the movie going like this.
Let's watch it.
You have more popcorn?
There's popcorn in this one.
Family-owned business committed to excellence. Just south of Ottawa.
Chronologically, in the universe, this is the first film of the series. It's the fifth one released. So this is before Annabelle Creations. It kind of explains a little bit about the character, or the main demon in Conjuring 2, which is Valak.
Valak, yes.
Valak, the destroyer,
Valak,
or Valak something.
Vimpaler.
Valak the Vimpaler. And so this just kind of gives a backstory into, I want to say it gives a backstory into why Valak is there, but I don't feel it does. It's like Valak showed up. Are we allowed to spoiler?
Oh yeah, no, that's
Right,
fine.
okay,
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
So he's summoned for some reason. Then the Crusades happen. A bunch of knights killed that guy. And then they said they cast Valak away, right?
They sealed, because the guy had made a pentagram on the ground, and that's how he raised a scary CG creature, and then they defeated the scary CG creature.
And they washed it off.
They sealed the summoning spot with the blood of Jesus Christ, which they have in a small
holy hand.
Yeah.
Just condom.
Yeah.
It was like one of those things that you know when you don't really have a gift for your mom at Christmas and you're like, fuck, it's Christmas Eve, and you go to Hallmark and there's some like fancy shit. And you're like,
like
no,
a
I don't
puzzle.
like that. That's kind of what they had there, except it had the blood of Jesus, and they used that to seal the place.
You know what?
But apparently it didn't work, Brady.
That would be a really shitty Kinder Egg. You expect like a little tricycle, and
Just the
instead you
blood
just
of
get
Christ.
blood.
Yeah. And also in Conjuring 2, how you get rid of him is by saying Valak's name. And in this one,
You gotta
the fucking
get
priest says
hot.
his name. No, you don't have to get
No,
it.
the
Have
hot
you seen-
cross.
Have you seen the other movies?
No, I went
Exactly.
in blind.
I'm not gonna let you talk about this because you haven't watched any
Okay.
movies. In The Conjuring 2, basically all she does is she gets in there and she says, Valak the Impaler, I condemn you to hell. That's it. Valak just like turns from the nun to his fucking demon form and then disappears, gone.
And that which one's like that's
That's
Conjuring?
Conjuring 2.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so the last one in the series chronologically, like in terms of timeline. But like the weird thing is, so Valak is cast out at the end of this, right?
I don't know.
At the
Right,
end,
but
at the
yeah,
end of the
he
movie?
managed
No,
to
because it
possess-
comes back.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Is like we watch Valak's form.
Go into the prison cell,
he
right?
obviously, like, put his
But
snake
then
in
he has
French's mouth.
possessed Frenchie.
But like the possessions have
Right.
worn off. At the end of the Conjuring, the possession wears
all
off
the
after
possessions
hours.
are more committed to me.
And you would think that the blood of Jesus
also
Christ.
Who gives a shit?
Frenchie, he's this French Canadian, which is a very bizarre way that they try to interject comedy into the movie.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not French, I'm French Canadian.
I'm French Canadian.
But like, so he finds a dead nun hanging from her neck. Fucking got me lost with that one. They show up. Oh, so then they go to the Vatican. There's like a meeting of the dudes. You know, like we're all here. We're here to talk about the bad stuff. And then they send
Father Burke.
Father
Yeah,
Burke.
Damien Beecher from probably most famous from Hateful Eight. Yeah, he's the priest, he's a fixer. He fixes problems. He's like Winston Wolfe in Pulp Fiction. You got a Catholic problem, demons, you call...
He's just shot so many 5-year-old boys in the head to stop him from talking.
You know, why are we even gonna...
You know why? He has nothing to add because he hasn't watched the movie.
I did watch the movie. No,
So
it
I
was
don't
so
believe-
dark.
Here's what happens.
Wasn't
Like,
great.
there's a bunch of scary stuff happening on the screen. It's loud, you know. Naturally, just being a human being, you would hear blah, blah, and you go, oh, not Joe. Scary shit's happening on the screen. I look over at him, and he's got a slushy cup, and he's like... He's not even looking at it.
Why would I? Why would I?
The sirens could be going off, nuclear war happening, fucking rats running crazy, mutants, you know, eating skulls and fucking shit. Joe would be... What's going on, guys?
The government would think I was one of them and shoot me in the head like Ben in Night of the Living Dead.
You know, people enjoy their slush, but Joe takes it to a whole nother level. It's almost sexual with Joe. And you know...
A slush is a cold beverage. It tastes delicious. It goes in your belly, cools everything down on a hot summer day.
Do that again.
Oh. It's fine. I'm a fat nun.
It's not for me.
Okay.
Pick up from where we just left
Okay.
off then.
So the good old Mr. Priest man, he's going around. He goes to a different convent to go find the main chick, but she hasn't taken her
Irene.
vows yet. She's she's kind of loose, I believe.
Yeah,
is the
that's
proper
okay.
term for
Yeah.
someone like that.
She's a loose nun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the Frenchman. He says, oui. He tries
Canadian.
necking at her, and then he discovers that those guys are a priest and a nun. So they go back to the castle, right? And they see wet blood on the stairs. So he dips his finger in it. He's like,
But the blood was left from...
Yeah, a week ago.
Frenchie was out, he's a turnip salesman, and he was out there doing his thing. And that's when he found the corpse of the woman, the nun, who hung herself. There's a little prologue. She hung herself because the scary nun was coming at her, the titular nun. And so he had found the corpse, and that's where the story gthey back to the Vatican. Oh, a nun hung themselves. You got to go figure out what's going on. That's a major sin. That's why he goes there in the first place. Not because they think there's any demon possession or any bullshit. He goes there, and so he meets the turnip salesman, Frenchie, and he goes, and that's when they go to the house. And that's what starts the thing. They go inside, and he's like, this is where I kept the corpse. So they go inside, and the corpse he's like, oh, fucking shit. I laid that body... You know, I stretch that body out, ass up.
It's standing up.
And now the body's up like this, and they're like, oh, you know. But they're there to do a job. And that's when they find the key inside
Her mouth.
I think it's inside.
hand.
It's in the hand.
Yeah.
It's a
Because
crunchy
it breaks
hand.
his, yeah, it's a crunchy.
That's right. The
Her
hand.
bugle fingers.
Yeah.
Cracks them open.
Her hands are made of snow crab legs.
Yeah, and I heard murmurings amongst us like, God damn, I'd love to have some crabs. We got kind of hungry.
They split up because that's what happens. Like they're like, hey gang, let's split up.
Because you have to have, that's a way to get three storylines.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
Then
Well, you don't want anybody cramping your style if you're looking for ghosts.
They drop a lot of nugs of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, these bells on the at the graves. Those bells are so that if you get buried alive, wink, wink, wink. If you get buried alive, then you can ring the bell.
Poor old Ryan can't review. He has finally given up now. And he wishes that the show would end, so this memory will not remain. Oh, poor Ryan! I beg, please don't give up. We need you. Or all we'll have is Buckley.
Oh, look at this pile of chicken bones from the 15th century. I heard these can summon Christ in an emergency.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, that's
Poor
how
old Ryan can't review.
he splits up. He's gonna do some book learning.
Yeah.
He actually learned. That's what I'm saying though. Early on, he learns Valak's name.
Oh, yeah, he learns
And
Snape
he's
Man.
also useless at this, right? Like they say, he's like, oh, they sent me here to clean these things up. Like I'm the cleaner, and like, but the whole time he's in peril.
He's constantly like he gets thrown into a coffin
Yeah.
by a titular nun. Throws him in the coffin. Which here and then we'll probably dive into this a little bit better. But here's one of the big ripoffs where the ripoffs of this movie start. So he's in the coffin. Let me out of the coffin, and and he's lighting his lighter and doing all that thing. I don't know how else you would shoot somebody locked in a coffin. It's got a very Kill Bill reminiscence to Kill Bill. That's not what I'm saying. The ripoff is when the main nun girl comes and she, she's trying to get him out of the coffin. I don't know if she has a shovel or an axe, and almost hits him in the face.
Shovel.
That's straight out of City of the Living Dead.
Just getting like right there.
The Fulci movie.
She digs a grave really quickly.
Yeah, that was fast.
It's very impressive how
They
quickly.
teach that at nun school.
At nun school, that's her last thing before the vows, right? And
Stop looking at me.
So then when they do,
Listen to
then there is a bit where the father's almost killed by. At one point, so in every other movie, the demons manifest themselves in ways that are not able to be just fucking like hit away like zombies, like because in this they're like zombies, right? Like you could chop off their head, you could burn them, you could shoot them.
I think that he's animated the corpses of the many dead nuns.
Yeah.
Right, because there are a lot of
literally
dead nuns,
Abbey, as they do in most places.
Sure.
Yeah, they
Because
probably-
we just discard nuns out into the streets.
Sure.
And it's a real problem. And there's a huge patch of nuns out in the Pacific Ocean. What?
It's fine.
Was-
Fine.
He's got slush finger.
I was like, looked on his finger and it's so red, and I was
Getting in
wondering
there.
why it wasn't. That was because he was sticking into that fucking slush.
No, I had sour straws. There was a sour straw
He's
incident.
got a slush finger.
It's fine.
That was tense, yeah.
No, I was so bored. That was an awful movie.
Oh, God, awful.
No, that was probably I think that was worse than Slendy.
So the problem is, I think the big problem is that in the other ones they favored story. In this one, they only had like a grain of story to work with. Like they knew they had none. They're like, how do we explain the nun? And that's it. And like, so there are some interesting bits.
One of the things that it does a lot is this whole trick where you see main character maybe he's going down, a corridor, is spooky stuff. Camera, back to him, and there's somebody behind him, a scary thing.
Blah.
There's a lot of characters that are there and they're not there, disappearing. A lot of bullshit with mirrors. You've seen all of this.
Yeah, everything.
It's lazy.
Look at that fucking slut. Look at your thumb. Did you hit it in something? Is that seriously, Tyler? Is that how his thumb always is?
Is it always
Thumb?
like
It's
this?
like thumb up. Is your
wet?
thumb always like that? Just like shaped like that with the nail sunk in like that?
Looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No, I cut this one really.
No!
That looks swollen and kind of infected.
are so low.
That looks kind of infected.
You say why you're so low.
No, I just cut this one really. with the,
Liar!
No, I'm a nun. How dare you? I am a sister of God. You f***ing piece of shit.
Come for Christ, you eat your nails!
No, I do not. I am
You do!
I am a sister of the God,
Getting
the
your
Holy
nails!
Spirit, Jesus Christ. I am God! I am the new God!
So anyway, so
Brought to you by
More, I'll tell you this. There was more. I felt at the edge of my seat more watching him be able to take down the whole thing than I did in the whole of the titular nun.
what else happened? So we're at. I mean,
At this
a lot
point,
of jump scares, a lot of stuff. They go in the basement. Now, I think it's funny that they act like video game NPCs in the basement. Like he's like,
Yeah,
let's
they
stick
like
together
turning
until
up-
he
yeah.
heard literally anything. Like Frenchie's following her with the only real physical weapon other than the holy hand grenade. He like follows her into a room, and he also has the only source of light, right? And he's like, we gotta stick together. What's that? And
Oh,
then
is
he
that-
leaves
is that-
the fucking hallway.
Is that
Yeah.
two crickets fucking? I better go
I
check it
better
out.
go see if that's okay. And it separates them.
Yeah.
Again, the father shows up and is useless. Which I was like, oh, he's gonna turn this into holy water.
Yeah, he constantly is getting his ass kicked.
Father Burke is a fighter.
He's not a good cleaner.
No. And the turnip salesman, I mean, he pops up, he pops up at the right moment, the right time with the shotgun. Because he finds out later on the turnip salesman leaves for a while, and then when he comes back, he's sitting in a bar, and the bar patron's like, motherfucking, did you hear about the girl hung herself? She's 12 years old. And remember old Bill, he's blind, and remember old Stewart, and talk about
Poor
all these,
Jesse Glurkin.
Jesse Glurkin, all these guys in the village have bad things happen to themselves. And the barkeep is like, it's that fucking Abbey. It's the evil that's in the Abbey. Now it's creeping out. It's coming down to our town. We got to, what are we going to do? And in my mind, I was like, you are a barkeep of a really shitty ass bar.
Yeah.
Not exactly setting the world on fire, bro. You could leave town. I mean, everybody, that's the thing. Everybody in this scenario, that's my problem with the nun. None of these motherfuckers need to be there.
No.
Honestly.
No, right.
They could leave and that's it. If everyone left the town and nobody ever went to that abbey and maybe you put a sign around it that said, evil titular nun in here, fucking don't go
Do
in.
not come in.
They do say that the nun cannot, or the demon cannot leave the abbey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without taking a soul.
So they
But
should
everyone
split.
goes in.
Yeah. The nun was kind of hot.
I'm trying to
Wait, you're
think
talking
if-
about the young, like the main character?
No, I mean the
yeah,
titular nun, the scary
yeah.
nun. She looked better in this than she did in. Yeah, I don't mean when she's got the big scary bloody teeth. No, but I mean when she's just kind of like, doing the blue steel. She's got nice cheekbones. There's worse nuns. There's worse demonic nuns that could be eating at your brains. Yeah. Some of the non-demon nuns were oof.
But the nuns
Yeah.
weren't there.
Nobody wants to fuck a
There
mother
were no
superior.
nuns. So that's a major thing. Is like there are no nuns, like other than because it turns out Savalik, the only way for him to actually get out is to possess somebody. I do like when the father he makes a cross out of oil and then throws the. I thought that was kind of
The
cool.
lantern?
The lantern, and then. They get separated. There is the pentagram, which got cut into the nun's back, Irene's back. There's a star put in her back.
Oh yeah,
Then then she walks willingly into a trap, because none of them are intelligent. These are easily avoidable traps.
She turns into Admiral Akbar real fast for just a split second. And then she's like, oh God, what was that?
Fine.
That's not going to be made for 23 years, for 30 years.
Fine. She's a nun. She already willingly walked into a trap of throwing her life away.
Hot take Joe Buckley here.
Yeah.
Keep your hands
We're
ready.
gonna get to the end of this movie.
Put your slush thumb back away.
We'll get there.
Okay.
It's infected. I
No, it's not. No, it's just got red slush on it.
don't look good.
Okay, that's fine.
Smell it.
No.
It's gangrene. I'll smell it.
So trapped in the pentagram, Frenchie shows up, saves her. He gets beat up. Then Irene gets thrown into a big pool of water. This is where I thought the father was gonna be a badass. I thought he was gonna turn that into holy water, and fucking just be like.
It would have been cool.
That would have been cool. I was like, oh, cool, a body of water. That makes sense. That's why they did this.
It makes us like a pool of holy water.
Yeah, but no. Then this demon, the titular nun, decides to drown Irene. We French
Drowning Eileen. Oh, I'm drowning Irene. I'm the titular nun.
She's drowning.
She can choke
Irene.
me any day she wants.
Oh yeah.
She's drowning Irene.
Fuck her rump.
And
He's trying to give them.
Okay.
And father shows up. He's completely useless. The minute he dives straight into the water, gets knocked out by the nun.
I never thought I would find such a well-written script.
Meanwhile, Irene drinks a little bit of Christ's blood, then waits for the nun to take like the holy hand grenade, and she's like, "Oh no, it's empty." Irene then spits the Christ blood into the nun's face, and then like is dropped into the water, completely fills the water with Christ blood, which then opens up the hole in the ground, which sucks the nun in, and
I bet it
like the
attracted
Ghostbusters.
sharks.
Oh, there were sharks everywhere.
Jaws is coming for.
Sharknado just.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. All right. Have you seen Demon Knight? Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight. It's an amazing movie. William Sadler, etc. Now,
Whoa, what a
there's other people in it. Billy Zane, Thomas Hayden Church. I wasn't going to get into the whole thing. If you know Demon Knight, you know Demon Knight. Now, Demon Knight, one of the big plot points of that movie, awesome movie, is that they have a key. They call it a key. It's basically a receptacle that somebody took when Jesus was on the cross bleeding out.
Filled it up.
They filled it with Christ's blood. And that's a big weapon that's used in Demon Knight.
Great. Be all right. As long as we stay inside and stay together. We just have to make it through the night.
And that stuff's gonna keep him out?
There are only two things we can use against them. The blood that's in this key.
It's blood?
Okay, so therefore, that's already in the nun. They have the key, the receptacle, with Jesus' blood. Strike one, okay? Strike 2 and 3, because it's that heinous, is at the end of the movie, you think all is done. You think the titular nun has Irene in her claws, in her grasp. She's choking her. You think all is done. She holds up the titular nun's like, ha, motherfucker, look what I got. The key's broken. You think, okay, the blood's gone. It's done. No. Irene spits blood out of her mouth, the Christ blood all over the face of the titular nun, and that's what defeats her. Okay? That's exactly what happens at the end of Demon Knight. Exactly.
If I can't have your soul, I'm gonna take your heart.
That's exactly what fucking happens in Demon Knight. Like, seriously, I don't know how.
Demon Knight ripped off the nun.
But where this movie really shits the bed so hard, like Joe Buckley shits the bed, like Joe Buckley after fucking House of Hunan shit in the bed. So.
No, I do not shit after Chinese food.
Shut up, Gaper. What makes it the worst is that it is so blatant. The exact same thing happens, and it's like, I don't know how the fuck they got away with it. Before, I kind of didn't care about the movie. It was kind of washing over me. I was like, whatever, it's fucking fine. Some people will dig it, other people won't. But now I hate that movie. I hate the nun. Fuck the nun.
Because you couldn't end a movie with somebody in a body of water without having the will they, won't they be drowned?
Yeah.
Like, did she drown? Didn't she drown? I don't know. And obviously she didn't. Frenchie comes back. We thought he was dead. Nope, here he is. He saves her. He gives her the kiss of life.
She got French with his tongue because he's French. Canadian.
Boom, everything's fine again, right? They're outside. He's like, "What's gonna happen now?" And she's like, "Well, we'll reopen it as a thing. We'll get some nuns in here, set up some paranormal safety features, and then we will all be fine. Like we'll just whatever. We'll pray a lot." And he's like, "That sounds good to me." But then like he, as if to like wink at her, like scratches the back of his neck, like he should have been like, "Have you seen?"
He's like, my neck is really itchy. Zoom in on him.
Oh, geez, God. Oh, Jesus Christ, my neck hurts. Like,
yeah, he's got a little upside down cross.
In the first Conjuring movie, where the Warrens are exercising Frenchie 20 years in the future.
Yeah.
They're talking about having exercised Frenchie, which is something that's a drawback to the very first one.
The French-Canadian farmer had nothing more than a third-grade education, yet after he was possessed, spoke some of the best Latin I'd ever heard, sometimes backwards.
Which is kind of cool. They did the same with Annabelle Creation. It's just kind of like it's a drawback. It's a callback to the first Conjuring movie. It's a drawdown.
Drawbridge.
But it kind of links all the movies like they did with Annabelle Creation, which I thought was okay. It at least made a reason for it. But then, yeah, we find... So then, for some reason, Valak lay dormant for 20 years and then decided to take Frenchie over. And it's not really clearly identified why. It does flash back to him being held up against the post, and then Valak snakes his whole, like, it just...
That's exactly how it happens.
Yeah.
Valak just walks up and he goes with his hand.
It just puts it right in his mouth. And that's how he got it.
It's fucking terrible ending. It's a terrible movie. Don't waste your fucking time with it. All right, Joe. On a scale from malevolent to benevolent, what would you rate The Nun?
Piss!
Dump!
Solid poop.
Shitwater.
All right. I think after we've seen this horrific horror movie, we need to get a little bit of Christ back in us. So I'd like to first say a prayer.
In the name of our Holy Father, the God, the Jesus, and the Spirit, he says, unto thee, unto all of us, we are our children, we are our Lord, we are the Son, and no, because there's a thing with the, something about the book, the Bible, and thou shalt keep the Bible close to your heart. Amen.